It's been a while since I've posted one of these, a movie review the day of release, and today we are reviewing 2023's Wonka, directed by Paul King. 1 hour and 56-minute runtime. I took my 3 older kids to see this movie. So this, just to clarify, this movie has no affiliation with Roald Dahl. Warner Brothers bought the rights to the Wonka character in dating back to around 2016, I think. They had started to plan this movie out. Paul King, the director, didn't really dig too deep into him, but he co-wrote the screenplay with this whole concept of the movie with a guy named Simon Farnaby. It was filmed on location in England. So, Timothee Chalamet as Wonka. There was no other auditions. He was cast as Wonka after King, the director, saw a YouTube video of his high school musical performance showcasing that he could sing and dance. So, I'm just total transparency. I grew up with the video cassette of the original Wonka, and it's very hard for me to separate this as a standalone movie because it has nothing to do with any story that Roald Dahl wrote. It's a story created based off of that character, right? And it doesn't necessarily follow anything from the 1971 movie. That being said, I did like it better than the Tim Burton version starring Johnny Depp. And I thought Chalamet did a fine job as Wonka. It's just hard for me to get Gene Wilder out of my head as Wonka because he's my number one Wonka, hands down. The other problem that I had with this film is we're living in the 21st century here, not 1971 like the original. Heavy use of CGI. There is so much CGI. There was some scenes that were filmed on location throughout England where the movie was filmed, but heavy use of CGI. And to me, that it's kind of like that Marvel movie and how Martin Scorsese said he didn't really equate those as real movies because of it's just so much computer generation, very little practical effects. But does that take away from it? It helps them tell the story, right? So, I don't know. That's just my perspective, if anything. So the film had a budget of $125 million, and so far on the worldwide release, because it was released December 8th in the UK and abroad, it's grossed $43 million. Today is its first US release. Today is December 15th, and we will see what it does here. So this is not an up-to-date, and I've even seen some of the critics' averages with some of the other platforms for ratings. They've already kind of changed a little bit. So, I don't know. It is called a comedy musical. There were some good musical numbers in there. I did enjoy it. And I did get emotional in a few moments as well. But if you're comparing it, which again, it's hard to not compare it to the 1971 because they're kind of saying this is like a Wonka origin story. This film, and I think this is what the problem with this movie for me is, it relies heavily on the pull strings of nostalgia, tying it back to the 1971 movie. There's a lot of very like the Oompa Loompa played by Hugh Grant. He's modeled after the Oompa Loompas in the original film. The little flute thing that they do to summon the Oompa Loompas. There is a lot of phraseology that is said by the Gene Wilder character in the original film. It's tying it back, but then also taking it to a new place because of it's a new story, right? It's just hard for me to accept that because I want it to be its own thing, but then it's also relying heavily on the other one too. So I was really struggling with my rating for this, but I'm going to jump right into it now. And I'm not letting my kids hear it because I don't want to influence them with what my rating was, and I'll call them in to hear what they have to say after I'm done. I'm 3.5 out of 5. CGI, too much, too many tie-ins trying to loop it in with the old movie and play off the nostalgia factor. And it's just really hard for me to accept anybody other than Gene Wilder. Chalamet's fine. I liked his performance. I liked a lot of the musical numbers. Even the story was okay, but it wasn't a home run for me. It was enjoyable. Is it a classic? I don't think so. The Rotten Tomatoes, folks, they say critic average is 83%, which would probably be in the low fours. IMDb, 7.4 out of 10. Not a bad thing. I think anybody above a 7 is good. Anything below a 6 is moving in towards more of the low 3s. And then out of all the 405, just you and me on Google that have reviewed this film so far, 405 people reporting in, they're 3.9 out of 5. But again, that's subject to change, folks, because the more people see it, because again, I saw it at 10 a.m. opening day, could be something different later on. I'm just telling you my initial feeling about the movie. Now let me summon the old kids in here. Boys, do you want to come in and talk about the movie? On YouTube? Hello? They don't hear me. They don't care. Kids! Movie review time! Just had to speak a little bit louder. I hear footsteps. Come on in and let's hear your opinion on the movie. Come over here to this my co-star's seat here. Okay, so what do you think about this movie? What's your rating on the 1 to 5 scale, or 1 to 10 scale, whichever scale you prefer?
I give it a 4 or 5. I forget.
What did you say you liked about the movie, and what would you say was just kind of whatever for you?
So the start, I kind of liked it. How he got trapped down there.
Yeah, he became an indentured servant.
But then when the chocolate factory got ruined, I just kind of...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of Like...
So you're 4, but overall you'd say you're 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Go get one of the other brothers. Send somebody else in. I'm not seeing that sense that he thinks it's amazing. What would you say is a movie for you? He's gone. The moment's lost. I don't plan any of these videos, folks. I just take some brief notes from the internet. There you go. That's the review. Okay, I think I hear Benjamin coming in here. Okay, Benjamin. Let's get your rating on the new Wonka movie.
So the Wonka movie. So I rate this movie 200 Googles out of 200.
200 Googles out of 200. So that means you liked it. Okay. There you have it, folks. We're going to wrap it up for today. 200 Googles out of 200. A very unique rating. Don't understand. And I guess my other son doesn't want to be on camera today, so that's fine too. We've said enough about Wonka. Until next time, folks, I'd like to hear if I'm wrong in the comment section, and I'd like to know what you think about it. Nobody ever really says anything, but I always throw it out there. Until next time.